Hello there, and a very good Tuesday afternoon to you. Welcome along. We're live, friends, here on Global Irish Radio. It's the Daily Crack Show. It is Tuesday, October the 28th, 2025. Welcome along. We're suffering from the Tuesday blues. Yes, we are. It's technically Tuesday, but emotionally, we're stuck on Monday. Yeah, it's always hard to get back to work after the long weekend. Lots of unsmiling faces, grumpy people returning to the office. Even though it's a short week, we shouldn't complain. We had an extra long weekend. Lots of people were off on Friday too, I think. So there you go. It's always hard to go back though. It always is. And it reminds us that all things come to an end. We hope you're well this Tuesday. We hope you had a nice weekend. In other parts of the world, of course, people have been back to work already, so they don't know what we're talking about. Usually we'd be here on a Monday, but not yesterday. We decided to join the nation and take a much needed break. Have to tell you, it didn't stop raining all weekend, but we'll come to that. Welcome along, friends, live here on Global Irish Radio, the Irish Diaspora Station, bringing you up to speed on all that's happening here in Mother Ireland. A lot to talk about. Actually, there's not a lot to talk about. It's a very slow news day. What am I talking about? There's nothing in the papers today. Nobody did a tap yesterday. Nothing was done, and the evidence of that is opening up our papers today. Nothing in there. The pages are empty, essentially. But anyway, there you go. Understandably so. Those hard-working people at the newspapers deserve a day off. Because of that presidential election on Friday, it forced people into working long hours in the weeks up to this weekend. And indeed, on Friday and Saturday, lots of the news people were busy covering the election, which was kind of anticlimactic in itself. Very much a foregone conclusion. Many people probably glad that it is behind us. The actual day of the vote was the least exciting part of the whole thing, I think. In fact, looking at some of the post-election analysis and people looking back, Jim Gavin's withdrawal was the defining story of the presidential election, according to the Irish Independent today. That got 1,100 mentions on the airwaves, and I'm not sure who counts these things, although they do have to be very careful when it comes to coverage of the candidates and the election. They have to make sure that each candidate, because in the interest of fairness and balance, each candidate has to get exactly the same amount of time, the same amount of coverage, that kind of thing, for public broadcasting rules and all of that. Not sure how they do it, but you'll see when they're doing the debates, if one person's had more time than the other, they'll say, you get a few minutes more now because she talked more than you did, and we have to get it right. So there you go. In terms of the defining moment, though, and it was the defining moment, it's the moment that changed the whole dynamic of the race, really, if you think about it. Jim Gavin withdrawn very early on. Never should have been in the race, if you ask a lot of his colleagues in Fianna Fáil, but the person who must carry the can for that one is Micheál Martin. Looks like there is not an appetite within the party for a leadership heave at the moment, so Micheál Martin looks to be safe, although there's a lot of disgruntled backbenchers and that kind of stuff, because on Saturday, as we were watching events at Dublin Castle and Catherine Connolly on the podium, Fianna Fáil didn't even have a candidate, and Fine Gael's candidate crashed and burned. But Anyway, that's the election. We're glad that it is in the rearview mirror. We have a new president. We'll talk about that maybe in a few minutes, since there's nothing else to talk about today. But anyway, yeah, there was a lot of good coverage over the weekend, up until Saturday night anyway. And we're told, as you know, the counting started early on Saturday morning. Well, 9 a.m. and the polls closed 10 o'clock on Friday night. The boxes, they were opened at 9 a.m. And I think by 10 past 9, Heather Humphreys had essentially conceded. She had conceded to Catherine Connolly. And just in terms, if you weren't connected or clued into what happened, it was a landslide essentially. Catherine Connolly getting 63% of the vote. Heather Humphreys came in at 29%. Fine Gael, or Fianna Fáil's Jim Gavin, who was withdrawn, he's still on the ballot, but he wasn't a candidate as such because he had withdrawn very early on. He got 7% of the vote. The big story of the election, though, I suppose, was the high number of spoilt votes. 214,000 spoiled votes, which equates to about almost about 13% of votes cast were a spoiled vote. And for lots of people and for the politicians, they need to take note. That is the real story of the campaign. It was a dour campaign, and I was listening to some of the coverage over the weekend, and the Fine Gael guys in particular talking about their candidate. And Brendan O'Connor was asking asking the question, would it be better if they had a contest in the party? Because MEP Sean Kelly came out and said that he was shafted. He didn't get a chance to put his name forward because after Mairead McGuinness, the original Fine Gael candidate, withdrew due to health reasons, they quickly slotted Heather in, and Sean Kelly had earlier on expressed an interest in being the candidate, but he was talking fairly candidly on Irish radio yesterday and saying he got the shaft and that kind of stuff. But it was interesting to hear the Fine Gael guy. They were talking about would it have been a better contest, or would Heather have fared better? That's the Fine Gael candidate. Had there been more candidates? Because what really came to light during the course of the long campaign, or there wasn't a long campaign, but it felt a long campaign, was the fact that Heather wasn't really good in the studio or in the debates situation, and she wasn't a great performer in front of the media. And the thinking was that maybe if there were more candidates rather than just two, the spotlight would be less on her, and she might have been able to hide in full public view, hide her bad debating skills and that kind of stuff. And it was interesting, he was saying that she was a great candidate, and her strengths, he talked about her strengths and the fact that she was genuine, she was warm, and she had a decency about her, which struck me as really bizarre, because none of that came through in her campaign. They turned her into, and I said this very early on, they turned her into an attack dog. And the traits which they come out talking and touting, they didn't let it shine through in the campaign. I said very, very early on, let Heather be Heather. Her strong points were her personality, were her warmth. And they didn't allow that to shine through in the campaign, and so she didn't fare too well. Voters like authenticity. Just look at the Donalds. Let Donald be Donald. See how that worked out? You gotta be, whoever you are, you gotta be who you are. You gotta be you. That's what people like. That's what the voters like. They don't like you trying to be somebody else that you're not. So I think it's very important when it comes to elections and campaigning and running for office that you campaign as yourself, as your authentic self. Be you, for God's sakes. And if people like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. There's nothing you can do about that. But anyway, that is our presidential election. It's done now, and we've got Catherine Connolly as the chosen one. She'll move into Ors an Uachtaráin very, very soon. She's preparing to do so right now. She'll have to hire a few staff, and I think she'll have to decide. One of the big decisions are the makeup of the Council of State, which advises the president on the exercise of power and all that. So that it's really, as we know, ceremonial. Despite the dogfight and the dirt that's slung, it's a contest that really doesn't. It's largely, as we say, ceremonial. So it's rather interesting that it gets so dirty, and they dig every bit of dirt they can. It was just too much for Jim Gavin. He got out of the race very, very early on, which I thought was very surprising, because Jim Gavin, you always, as somebody who's got 5 or 6 All-Ireland titles for Dublin under his belt, you think, okay, he's somebody that perseveres, and when he falls, he picks himself up and gets back in the race, and perseverance wins the day. But in his case, he just, at the first hurdle, he just dropped out. Didn't have the stomach or didn't have the thick skin for it. Politics very different to sport, and in the end he was a poorly chosen candidate by Fianna Fáil. But that's for Fianna Fáil. That's for the Fianna Fáil party to figure out. Micheál Martin picked him, and didn't really tell anybody until late on who he was picking. Turns out he wasn't, and you'll recall during his time as the head of the Dublin team, the coach or the manager of the Dublin team, he kind of wasn't very visible, or he kind of avoided the media. So he was never really a guy that had credentials for performing, in front of the media. He wasn't good on camera. He might have been a great strategist and great winning at All-Irelands and that kind of stuff. But in terms of being a leader with charisma and performing in front of the cameras and the media, he was very dull, very poor, and that became evident very, very early on. And at the first sign of trouble, he got out of the race. It wasn't even a scandal in real terms. You look at the scandals that other politicians have to contend with, and they just water off a duck's back. But Jim may be too nice for politics, so he got out very quick, and that changed the whole dynamic of the race. And then a lot of people felt that the two candidates in it just didn't reflect them. Catherine Connolly was a left-wing candidate, and all of the left well, they got behind her, didn't they? And that left poor Heather, who they turned into an unrecognisable attack dog. And ordinarily, it's interesting because the constituency which knew her best and knew who Heather was her own constituency, and that's the only constituency that she that she actually got a majority throughout the country. She did well in her own constituency, and as Leah Varadkar said, that's because they knew her and they knew what she was like. But anyway, there you go. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Poor old Heather. She'd be glad that she can put that in the rear view mirror and move on. But of course, Heather had other problems. It wasn't just her debating skills or her media performances or anything like that either. Let's face it, it's the fact that she is part of Fine Gael, and Fine Gael remains really, really unpopular in the country. There was a budget on the October the 7th that had nothing in it for working the working people of Ireland, the 2.8 million people in Ireland that pay the bills. They kind of got the shaft. MEP Sean Kelly was talking about getting the shaft from Fine Gael in terms of not getting a chance to be on the ballot. Well, a lot of workers felt that they got the shaft, and so that was very evident in terms of if you look at the way people voted. So a lot of it was a protest against the governing parties, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. And of course, lots of unpopular measures. Fine Gael in power for about 14 years now. So Heather had all of that baggage to carry as well. So it'd be unfair to blame it all on Heather, her personality or her personal performance in the campaign. There's a lot more going on in the background. But anyway, that's it. In terms of the incumbent, Michael D has his bags packed, but Mishnock the dog is all ready to go as well, but he's in hospital at the minute. In fact, you haven't heard, Michael D Higgins has spent a night in hospital after some kind of an infection, and he travelled to St James's Hospital on Sunday. The whole thing was too much for him, and he's 84 years old now. So he's ready to get out of there. He wants to go back home to his home in Rahoon. Is that what it is? In Galway, spend more time with his family. He's been there for 14 years. And you look at the, let's say, for example, the terms in the United States, or the presidents in the United States, they go in with black hair or whatever colour hair it is. And the Donald is an exception. Most presidents go in with like a full head of thick black coloured hair or whatever and come out grey or whatever. You look at some of them over the years, the likes of Clinton, the likes of, his wasn't black hair, but you know what I mean. They go in with coloured hair, they come out with grey hair. Obama as well, and George Bush, except for the ones that don't have the real hair, maybe like the Ronald and all the rest of it. But anyway, there you go. They come out looking a lot older. That's in essence what I'm trying to say, because of the grueling nature of the presidency. But in our case, it's not the grueling nature of the job. It's the fact they're there so long. They're there for 7 years. So he's been there 14 years, having served 2 terms. I personally think it's a long time. I think the term should be a little bit shorter, maybe 4 or 5 years. So because if you get one you don't like, you're stuck with them for about 7 years. But anyway, there you go. So I thought he looked old before he went in, but now he looks even older, if that's possible. That's Michael D, who's in hospital for a second night now as they get that infection. He's commenced a treatment or a course of antibiotics to treat whatever the infection is. He was able to vote instantly on Friday. There's pictures of him going out with his wife voting on Friday. And as I say, he's coming to the end of his term now. He'll be out the door on November the 10th, and then we have the inauguration, which Catherine Connolly is currently planning, and then she'll take up residency in the Áras an Uachtaráin on about the 11th of November or something like that. So that's your presidential news. That's your presidential contest or election. Catherine Connolly victorious for the left, and they're all smiles. Meanwhile, it's grim-faced Fianna Fáilers and Fine Gaelers coming into this last week of October. They just want to put that sorry episode behind them. Trouble is brewing, though, for the main parties, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. The 2 main parties in the country, between the 2 of them, couldn't get a candidate into the Áras an Uachtaráin. So it gives you an idea. It spells trouble for further down the line, although there won't be another national election for about another 4 or 5 years, something like that. So there you go. That's the latest on all of that, friends. We're live as we usually are here on Global Irish Radio. We are the Irish Diaspora Station, and coming at you live 24/7 from our headquarters here in just outside Castlebar, County Mayo, where the weather, I can tell you, not bad at this hour. It's been a miserable weekend, though. I feel sorry for anybody who was out and about or at sporting events or stuff like that. There were GAA games taking place over the weekend. We had the Dublin City Marathon, which went off without any kind of problems. An African lad, or wherever he came from, won the race again in about just over 2 hours or something like that. But anyway, there you go. Another successful marathon in Dublin. Meanwhile, the weather here in Mayo at this hour, sunny spells throughout the afternoon. There's been some squally showers. If you're lucky and you get out for a bit of a walk in between them, well, you'll be very lucky, because those periods of sunshine are fairly short-lived, and it's kind of blustery and breezy and all that kind of stuff. Nothing like, though, what they're experiencing, unfortunately. I was just, terrible storm approaching or making landfall in Jamaica right now. Melissa pounding Jamaica. Winds of up to 280 kilometres an hour. I was listening to Oliver talking about it earlier today. He had the weather people on his show. They have a new book out. Plugging the book, but they were talking about the weather, but they referenced the fact that the winds, the gusts and stuff like that coming into Jamaica about 280 kilometres per hour, so they're going to get a pounding. And just to compare that to one of the worst storms that ever hit Ireland, ever made landfall here in Ireland, Storm Owen last year, that had winds of about 180 kilometres per hour. So what's happening in Jamaica, it's category 5 and it's 100 kilometres an hour faster than what we experienced, and what we experienced was rather devastating. So, as you can imagine, it's going to wreak some serious havoc in that part of the world. And the thing is, we could get the remnants of that system maybe into next week. So weather people will be keeping an eye on the trajectory of the leftovers of Melissa after it wreaks havoc there on Jamaica. Might head over towards Florida and then back out into the Atlantic. So it could impact our weather next week, but it's too early to tell. The weather forecast for Halloween remains rather uncertain here in these parts. Stormy conditions are predicted, and that could soak the ghosts and the witches this Friday. The trick-or-treaters, that's when it all happens this weekend. Is it Friday they'll be out? Trick-or-treaters, they'll have to plan their costumes accordingly, because the weather, it'll be fairly wintry now. It'll be windy and rainy and wet, and Met Éireann warned, as we say, it could be a wet and windy one. So trick-or-treaters, bear that in mind as you go about your business this Friday night in these here parts. Trick-or-treating and getting your candy, and make sure you're dressed for the weather. It's not going to be awfully nice, let's put it that way. Right then, Global Irish Radio, studio GIR.ie. If you ever feel the need to get in touch with us here at the programme, always good to hear from you. And music as well. If there's something you want to hear, let us know. Studio at GIR, as you say, .ie. Probably the best way to get in touch with us. To the United States of America now. And a couple of stories making the news this Monday. The Donald is he's in Asia. I think he's still in Asia, is he? God, you have to say one thing about him. That guy, he never stops. He's always on the go every day. Every single day. We were kind of used to Mayo Joe, where you wouldn't see him for like days at a time, maybe even weeks in some instances. But the Donald is out in front of the cameras every single day, and he's busy. He's off to. He even on the flights, he loves coming out and coming back down Air Force One and hanging out with the reporters. He just can't help himself. He loves. Never has a president given so much to themselves in terms of, he just loves the limelight. But he's always on the telly. Oh, it's very hard to keep up. But anyway, the latest is the White House ballroom. Construction is well underway now, much to the consternation of a lot of people, and conservationists and environmentalist people and history buffs and stuff like that. Not everybody's happy. We don't even know if he has planning permission for that damn thing. It's going to be big. It's going to be bigger than the White House, apparently. And of course, the big question now, what will it be called? Brazen Donald Trump will reportedly name the new $257 million White House ballroom after, guess who? Any ideas? No, not Eisenhower. No, not Kennedy. No, not Clinton. Not Obama. Not Reagan. No, Trump. It's going to be called the Trump. I'm surprised he hasn't got a sign up on the White House already. The Trump, we see it in Chicago on all of his buildings, the Trump Tower in Chicago, in Fifth Avenue, New York, all around the world. It's his trademark. He likes to put his name on buildings, and it's expected now. He's a very modest fella. He said he didn't want to talk about it right now, but it's expected. There's an expectation that it will eventually be called the Trump Ballroom. So we'll have to wait and see, of course. But anyway, there you go. And another interesting story on the Irish Star USA, and its story suggesting, I think the source of it is from his niece or something. He doesn't get on with all of his family. I think there's one niece that has written a book that he doesn't like. But she has come out and said that the whole thing about this ballroom, it's not about the ballroom really at all. That it's a cover for the Donald carrying out some work on the bunker beneath the White House. So that's an interesting angle, isn't it? That's an interesting twist. Is he planning for... maybe he's planning on staying there a lot longer and for different and interesting times that are coming down the line. We will have to wait and see on that front. But for now, it's the ballroom, and it's well underway. Planning permission or no planning permission, and the naming rights already gone. So there, you missed out. Elsewhere, Donald Trump has bragged that his support helped secure electoral win for Argentina's president. Yeah, there was a little election there in Argentina over the weekend. He came back to join the reporters in the White House and talk about the fact that the candidate there in Argentina, who is kind of like cut from the same cloth as the MAGA people in the United States, was victorious there, pulled off a stunning win in Argentina, as you say, over the weekend. The Trump-backed candidate, backed to the tune of $40 billion, by the way. That's how much Donald Trump has pledged to give to Argentina. Again, much the consternation to a lot of people back home, the farmers and the people that are struggling in the great United States of America. Meanwhile, Mayo Joe, he's still on the go, and he made an appearance, a rare appearance over the weekend. Former President Joe Biden has called these dark days, as he urged fellow Americans to be optimistic. The ex-leader said, "It's what he said. Since its founding, America served as a beacon for the most powerful idea ever in government in the history of the world. The idea is stronger than any army. We're more powerful than any dictator." I don't know about that, Joe. But anyway, there you go. It seems to be falling. It seems to be capitulating rather rapidly, if you ask some people. But anyway, Biden, he's 82 now, as you know, and he didn't get another term, a second term. He was speaking publicly for the first time since completing some radiation therapy. He looked fairly, I have to say, fairly healthy. I often seen him looking worse when he was in the White House, particularly when he didn't show up for that debate, the first debate with Donald Trump. He was a deer in the headlights, and of course that's where he crashed and burned. But anyway, there you go. And we do have, I think we have a sound bite of the Donald this Tuesday for you, because he is taking on the drug companies now, and he wants to reduce the price of a lot of these, even though the big beautiful bill is going to take healthcare apparently away from about 22 million Americans or something like that. At least he's going to bring down, he's hoping to take on, as I say, the pharmaceuticals and reduce the cost of a lot of these medicines. And here he is talking about, those fat drugs.
Now we're going to have them go down from $100 a pill to $9 a pill, from $1,300 for a shot of like an Ozempic or the fat, I call it the fat pill or the fat drug. Sometimes it works, I guess, for people. The ones I've seen, it hasn't worked so well. I got a lot of friends that have fat. And they said, I lost some weight. I said, you don't look it to me. But they pay $1,300, $1,200, and they go to London and they pay $88. And they call me, they go, what's this all about?
There you go. There's the Donald talking about, if you can't remember the name of the drug, just remember what it does or what it fixes. He calls it the fat drug or the fat pill, and there you go. Speaking very candidly, you got to love him. His honesty and calling out some of his friends who are taking it, and it's clearly not working for them. But anyway, there you go. And I would imagine, would that impact the share price of those drug companies when the president comes out and says that the drug isn't actually working on all his friends? So, there's all kinds of ramifications, but he doesn't really think before he speaks, does he? But anyway, there you go. That's the Donald. He's taking on, as we say, which is a good thing. It's a great thing, because those pharmaceutical companies, let's face it, they're getting away with murder. They just make up the numbers. It's funny money. They come up with numbers, and the Americans, not so much here in Europe, but if you go to America, the same the price we pay for drugs here in Europe, it's a fraction of what they pay in the States. So they're really, really, to quote the Donald, getting ripped off. So not necessarily a bad thing that he has got the drug companies in his sights. Now, what else can we tell you? Peaceful. Yeah, peace has broken out at the City West Asylum Centre. Remember last week, all the rage and all the news was the fact that there were all kinds of, trouble and shenanigans at initially what was a peaceful protest at the City West Asylum, the IPAS Centre there, after a young 10-year-old girl had been the victim of a sexual assault there. So people gathered there, and then right-wing elements crept in and hijacked the demonstration or the peaceful protest, and all kinds of trouble broke out, and missiles and fireworks and stuff being thrown at An Garda Síochána, who quickly reacted with their public order unit and a forceful response, and they really got a grip on things there fairly quickly. But the good news is that finally a peaceful peace is broken out there. A peaceful demonstration has taken place at a hotel housing those asylum seekers. People they gather at City West Hotel in Sagard, Dublin, holding banners in the colours of the Irish flag, which read "She was 10." 10 and let off pink smoke. The area saw disorder, as you said, last week, and she was 10, meaning the young girl, the 10-year-old, who was the victim in that attack. Now, that 10-year-old girl was in the care of the state agency Tues, which is the agency that looks after kids. And somebody said, if Tues were other parents, that all their kids would be taken from them. That's how bad they are, and that's how careless they are, and that's how reckless they are. Didn't do a good job taking care of that 10-year-old girl who was in, as we say, state care. And elsewhere, a 26-year-old man who cannot be named because of legal restrictions around that sexual assault case. He appeared in court and has been charged over the incident, and that will go on, obviously. And he remains in custody at this time. He wouldn't want to get out with all the people that will be chasing him down if he does get out. But there you go. Lots of questions to be, in relation to that, both in terms of, all of the asylum seekers that are being housed in that area. There's about 2,000 of them. 2,000 of them. So it's understandable that people, hurting with the cost of living and everything else that's going on in the country right now, and the budget that really did nothing for people, and the government spending, we're all for immigration in this country. People sometimes get confused that we don't like immigrants or anything like that. How can we not like immigrants? We've been immigrants ourselves for centuries, going all around the world. And immigrants that come to this country to work, and as they say in the United States, go the legal way about it, are most welcome. The Céad Míle Fáilte and the 100,000 welcomes are there for those people that want to come and they want to work and they want to contribute. And we need immigrants. Otherwise, we'd be working 6-7 days a week. A lot of the jobs and a lot of things that are driving our economy is, it comes down to, we need we need workers, we need immigrants, and they're doing valuable work. A lot of them, our health system would grind to a halt if we didn't have foreign doctors coming in. About 40% of Irish trained doctors and nurses, they go abroad. So, they're filling valuable and vital roles within our community, our country, and driving our economy. But then there's another demographic that seems to have got wind of the fact that Ireland is a soft touch when it comes to, getting handouts and the spoils of doing nothing, and the generous welfare system. And so I think that's the thing that people have an issue with. In the government, there are 33,000. You'll have heard in the past few weeks that the Irish government and the Justice Minister, Jim O'Callaghan, is offering debit cards with €10,000 on them to all of the 33,000 families that are in line for asylum in this country, just to pull out or withdraw their applications and get lost. So an awful lot of people have descended on our country, and a lot of people are angry with the government because of their handling of immigration. The immigration system is clearly broken, that we have that many people and that we're obligated to house that many people, and the slow process and the slow nature of processing of these claims and stuff like that, it is costing us a small fortune. And that's the issue that people have problems with, and that's why you have these people, and they're not exactly, we don't know who they are, and clearly there's some very undesirable people, the likes of the 26-year-old who assaulted a 10-year-old. Thank you, Margaret. Margaret's working her ass here, working hard in the background to get us a quote for the day. Anyway, where was it? But yeah, so a lot of people are a little bit upset about, the fact that a lot of these people, we don't know who they are, we don't know their records. They could be criminals, they could be rapists and murderers. Some of them are clearly, because they attacked that 10-year-old girl, one of them, and now under it. But anyway, that's what people have a problem with. That's what people are concerned about. Right. globalirishradio.com, GIR.ie. Let us keep moving along here. We're with you for the hour each day between 3 to 4, bringing up to speed on all that's happening in Mother Ireland. As I say, it's a slow news day, so we have to make it up. No, just kidding. We never make stuff up. Fact checker Fergus would never let us make stuff up, so we try to be as factual as possible. Sometimes we make some errors. We don't have a team of 20 production people, so we like to share with you as best we can what's happening in the country. The chitter chatter of the nation, the top trending series news stories, which we'll come to in a little while as well. Westlife, they were on the Late Late Show last night, or not last night, they were on the Late Late Show on Friday night, and they had a world premiere on there of their new song, and they were on there because they're promoting their reunion tour. It's been 25 years And they're getting back together again, and they announced all these tour dates which will happen, and tickets have gone on sale I think already, and they're expanding the amount of shows and all of that nice stuff. But I was in the post office earlier today. What did I see hanging on the wall? Stamps, Westlife stamps. Didn't know we had such a thing, but turns out Unpus getting in on the action as well, and they've released these commemorative stamps of Westlife, 25 years of Westlife, one of Ireland's most favourite boy bands, or iconic boy bands. Boyzone would be the original Irish boy band, but Westlife probably the biggest and most successful. So they were on the Late Late Show, and now they're in the post office in the form of these stamps, these commemorative stamps. If you're a Westlife fan, you want to get your hands on some of those. Which brings us to our musical choice today, starting things out. Let's get some tunes going for you. That world premiere that we were treated to on the Late Late Show Friday night, courtesy of Westlife. Here's the new song, and Ed Sheeran had a hand in putting this one together as well. He, I think, wrote the lyrics. So it's Chariot, Westlife, world premiere on Friday night. You're getting it brand new here on Global Irish Radio this Tuesday.
Chariot will come tonight. There will be no regrets and nothing to do over. Even though I made a few mistakes in life, I learned from everything I broke as I got older. If it's the last day I'm alive, don't cry, you'll kill the vibe. I just want the ones I love, it's smiling by my side. So call my friends, tell them cancel your plans. Come round, we're having a few. Bring all the family, dad, mom, grandpa too. Dance with my girl, spin around in the air, and find a corner with her. Kisses between the words, it was always you. Swing me high and swing me low, until my chariot takes me home. If my chariot will come tonight, I'd wanna end it with you dancing on my shoulders. I don't want a tearful somber last goodbye. The memories of my final moment should be golden. If it's the last air that I breathe, will you share it with me? I wanna feel love before I sleep, and then leave you in a dream. So call my friends, tell them cancel your plans. Come round, we're having a few. Bring all the family, dad, mom, grandpa too. Dance with my girl, spin around in the air, and find a corner with her. Kisses between the words, it was always you. Swing me high and swing me low, until my chariot takes me home. Until my chariot takes me home. Until my chariot takes me home. Last day I'm alive, don't cry, I'll kill the vibe. I just want the ones I love here smiling by my side. So call my friends, tell them cancel your plans. Come round, we're having a few. Bring all the family, dad, mom, grandpa too. Dance with my girl, spin around in the air, and find a corner with her. Kisses between the words, it was always you. Chariot takes me home. Swing me high and swing me low, until my chariot takes me home.
You're listening to Sean G on Global Irish Radio.
Hello, all you Global Irish Radio listeners out there, wherever you may be. It's myself, Finbar, here in beautiful northern Colorado, inviting you along to the Raggle Celtic Folk Show, streaming here live every Monday and Friday evening at 10 p.m. Irish time, where you're guaranteed to hear some rare old recordings from the old country and beyond. And it's all here on globalirishradio.com, the home of the Raggle.
Listen to the Raggle Taggle on Global Irish Radio.
Thank you very much. And Finbar returns this Friday at 7 with the Raggle Taggle. Old Ray recordings and all of that nice stuff. So be sure to join Finbar. 7 o'clock Irish time. We're live, friends, here at Global Irish Radio. We might be a little off in terms of the times that you listen to us in the great United States or that part of the world because our clocks went back, yes. Clocks went back on Saturday night. We all got an extra hour in bed. Got that extra hour beauty sleep. We're looking good this Tuesday. Although we squandered it last night. But anyway, there you go. And the clock's changing in... The clock's changing there in the USA on this coming weekend, isn't it? I believe it is. So there you go. Keep an eye out for that one. Now, a notable obituary to share with you on the programme today. Prunella Scales. You may not recognise that name, but you know who she played and the best role of her life. Best known for her role as Sybil in Fawlty Towers. She has died at the age of 93. The actress died peacefully at her home in London yesterday. Her sons Samuel and Joseph said, "Our darling mother, Prunella Scales, died peacefully at home in London yesterday. She was 93, they said." So there you go. She'd been married for, I think, about, she had a remarkable career acting for about 70 years. And I think she was married for about 61 years. And she was predeceased by her husband, Timothy West, in November of 2024. But there you go, Prunella Scales, better known as Sybil in Fawlty Towers, who along with John Cleese and the rest of the gang there gave us some memorable, unforgettable moments of laughter on the Fawlty Towers series. Elsewhere, the Republic of Ireland women's national team playing tonight the second leg of their promotion or their relegation playoff, either or. Final game of the playoff, competing to be promoted to League A or League One, the top league. They'll take on Belgium tonight. Kickoff is at 7 p.m, so you can check out the girls in green going up against Belgium tonight. Their first encounter went well. Hopefully tonight's encounter will go well as well. That's the Republic of Ireland, the women's national team in action tonight. So a little bit of football for you to watch on the telly this Tuesday night, 7 o'clock RTE2. And a little bit of other soccer news for you this Tuesday. A lot of happenings at Celtic, and Dermot Desmond, who was one of the big investors there at Celtic, last night slamming Brendan Rodgers for turning Celtic toxic, apparently, after the manager sensationally walked out. Yep. The gaffer, he quit his post with immediate effect, will be replaced by former Republic of Ireland manager Martin O'Neill. So some acrimonious things, trouble at the Celtic camp there, and Micheál Martin stepping in to take over where the gaffer leaves off. And as we say, some nice things said about him, but also some not so nice things said about him. Right, there you go. Bit of news for Celtic fans this Tuesday. A new man coming in, Martin O'Neill, who was with the Republic of Ireland for a period of time, wasn't he? But anyway, what else have we got for you this Tuesday? Colin Farrell, he's really excited and delighted to be back in Batman 2 after being spoiled rotten on the Bing Wing. Yes, Irish actor Colin Farrell, 49, is set to reprise his role as Oz Cobb for the upcoming DC superhero sequel. So there you go, a little bit of good news there for fans of Colin Farrell and fans of Batman. He'll be back reprising that role, Oz Cobb, in Batman 2. Watch out for it. It'll be here before you know it. And Noel Gallagher's handwritten lyrics for Oasis. Remember the song Don't Look Back in Anger? Well, they've sold at auction for 5 times the amount they were expected to go for. Yeah. Oasis, can't do any wrong these days. Had a very successful 2024, didn't they? 2025 even, I should say. And that was the first single to feature him on lead vocals instead of brother Liam. Noel's emergence as a singer is often believed to be the changing point in the temperamental brothers' working relationship. That's the point. That's where they trace back the trouble. But anyway, that's for Oasis to figure out. Oasis split in 2009 after a backstage fight between the Gallagher brothers at a show in Paris. And of course, as you know, they reunited this year, got back for a series of reunion concerts. Very successful. And the tickets going at all kinds of ridiculous prices and all the rest of it. But anyway, the iconic song was part of the band's second album, What's the Story? Morning Glory. Remember that one? Well, if you're an Oasis fan, you will. The £23,000 lyrics, maybe euro, we'll go with euro. €23,000 lyrics were scribbled in blue ink on a white sheet of paper. And they were expected to fetch about €4,600, but they went for €23,000. And the paper had signs of creasing and minor marks, but that didn't deter the people interested in acquiring them from forking out such big amounts of money. 23,000, the successful bidder in this case, and scores of other Oasis items went under the hammer, including Noel's custom-made Gibson guitar used during this year's reunion tour, which sold for over £50,500 to the highest bidder. And one of the guys, I love the spin they put on it from the auction house, who says the sale was a celebration of music history. So it wasn't just a guitar or the lyrics to a song that you were buying on a scrap piece of paper. So much more. A celebration of music history with guitars that shaped the sound of a generation, handwritten lyrics that capture the first spark of legendary songs, and personal items that offer a glimpse into the lives of the world's greatest music artists. That's how you sell something, friends. That's how you sell something. So not just the lyrics, a piece of music history. Is it any wonder they fetched €23,000? I nearly buy them myself after that. The wonderful description there by the auction house, but they always do. And as I say, the Midas touch Oasis, and everything they touch just turns into thousands and thousands and millions of euros, as we've seen there from those keepsake items from the auction this week. Friends, we're live here on Global Irish Radio. Some great programs coming your way throughout this Tuesday afternoon. Jim Corbett is back from the studios there in Bundoran, County Donegal. The very best in country and Irish music, requests, all of that nice stuff between it's an hour earlier this week because we want Tom to go out at his usual time in Chicago there. So we've made an adjustment. Tom will still go out. Tom's Irish Radio Show live from Chicago, 2 o'clock local time there in Chicago, which is 7 o'clock this week Irish time. So a slight adjustment there. I told you the changing this weather business, this daylight savings time, we have to abolish it. We have to get rid of it. It just wreaks havoc with our GIR Global Irish Radio schedule when one place changes and the other place doesn't. But anyway, there you go. After this week, it'll be back to normal. So check out the schedule there, globalirishradio.com. There are some changes as a result of that hour time change, that change here that didn't happen in the great United States. Australia, of course, and New Zealand, they changed weeks ago. It's impossible. globalirishradio.com. Check out our schedule, check out our website, and check us out online and social media and all of the places that you would find us online. Let us return to the music, and then we'll come back and see if there are any stories or what stories are trending this Tuesday. As we say, it's a slow enough news day. Slow enough news day it is indeed, but we'll take a look and see what is making the headlines here in Ireland. Let's go back to the music. We have something from the Saw Doctors lined up here for you, ready to go. World of Good on the Daily Crack with me, Sean G.
Memories of snowflakes and of those who wander screaming of your childhood in a land that's been torn apart, and the chilling cold of violent deeds somehow strengthens your warm heart. Your gentle, firm and peaceful ways have long since well withstood the darkness in this country. I only wish for you the world of good. Oh, the sky at night and the open sea, a clear and flashing mountain stream, Chattanooga and Robin Hood. I wish for you the world of good. Oh, I love you, girl, and I always will. You know you're part of my life still. No times have changed, it's understood. I wish for you the world of good, the world of
Global Irish Radio is excited to partner with 950 WROL AM, the Spirit of Boston, to bring you portions of the Irish Hit Parade, providing the soundtrack to your weekend. Join Paul Sullivan on Saturdays 3 to 7 p.m. Irish time and famous Seamus Mulligan on Sundays 7 to 10 p.m. for a feast of Irish music. Streaming live from Boston right here on globalirishradio.com.
Yes, indeed, friends. Great Irish music from Boston at the weekends, courtesy of Irish 950 WROL AM, the Spirit of Boston. They've been doing that since 1967 and delighted to share portions of it with you here on Global Irish Radio. We are the Irish Diaspora Station, streaming on as many as 25 digital platforms on Alexa and the Global Irish Radio app. As we say, thank you for letting us tag along. Take us with you wherever you go. Quite enough news day, I have to tell you. Not surprising, though, given that it's been a long weekend and we had that election, the presidential election, which stole the show on Friday. A lot of analysis in the papers over the weekend on that, and still, and this Tuesday, a lot of stories looking at the fallout in terms of Micheál Martin's future and stuff like that as the leader of Fianna Fáil, given his botched handling of the nomination process that resulted in his party not even having a candidate in the race. And of course the implications as well for the dismal showing of Heather Humphreys for Fine Gael. So a lot to mull over for the two parties in government right now, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil. Looks like we are on track here in this country at the next election if things continue. If the trend that was born out in the presidential election manifests itself in the next general election, then we're on track for a very, very, very far left-wing government here in this country. It'll be free stuff for everybody. Anyway, staying with that story, Siri, with the, I suppose, the fallout from the presidential election today. Fianna Fáil backbenchers are said to be frustrated at the party's disastrous presidential election campaign. And speaking of RT's This Week programme on Sunday, Carlo Kilkenny TD John McGuinness said Fianna Fáil needs a new leader in the not too distant future. TD John Lahard joined McGuinness in criticising Martin for his handling of the presidential election, while MEP Billy Kelleher, who missed out on the party's nomination after an internal contest against Gavin, called the situation disastrous. However, Micheál Martin and his allies and the Transport Minister came out saying that there were no questions. They essentially dismissed questions over his leadership, and there doesn't seem to be the stomach within the party for a leadership contest right now. However, the Journal.ie, the online news platform, asked the question of its readers today. Here's what they asked. So with some disquiet within Fianna Fáil regarding the party leadership, we want to know how long you think Micheál Martin will remain as the leader. As I say, given the fallout from the disastrous presidential campaign and the rumblings on the back benches and there's talk that he needs to go. So the Journal asking its readers how long they think Micheál Martin will remain as the leader of that party. He's been in charge now for something like, is it 14 or 16 years? He's survived a lot in the past. But anyway, how much longer will he survive? And that's the question that they're asking today. And here are the options, or here are the results, rather, of they gave a selection of options. Anyway, over 30% actually say that he'll be gone in the short term. Another 28% said he'll last into next year. And then 24% he'll be gone before the next election. And then 13% after. So only of that poll, 77% think he'll be gone in the short term next year, but definitely before the next election. Only 13% think he'll survive past the next election. Most people think he won't survive past next year. But there you go. A lot of people saying in the short term he's going to be out the door. That's the feeling right now in the immediate aftermath of that election, which was disastrous, as we say, for the Fianna Fáil party. So as you can see, emotions running high. We told you at the outset of the programme that our president, or incumbent, yes, he's still the president, Michael D. Higgins, was in hospital on a course of antibiotics for an infection that was improving thanks to the treatment that he was receiving. Well, we have an update on that story. President Michael D. Higgins has returned to Ars Uachtaráin following that treatment for that infection, and he was treated in St. James's Hospital, as you know, in Dublin, with antibiotics and all of that stuff for a localised infection. That's all we know, but a spokesperson said President Higgins would like to express his thanks to the medical staff who treated him there, and to all those members of the public who sent their best wishes to him over the course of his brief stay in hospital. There's a lot of love, it's fair to say, for Michael D. He's a much beloved president, and he is in the closing days of his 2 terms now, and they're spending a period of time, a little stint in hospital for an infection, but he has returned home to the Áras, and he has said he'll be cooperating fully. Not that there is any question that he wouldn't cooperate. It's not that kind of presidency, but he'll be working with his pal Catherine Connolly with the transition and the inauguration and the ceremonial stuff that'll be happening. The two of them will work hand in hand to make sure all of that works out. A lot of talk in the papers are online today about that Hurricane Melissa and it being the most powerful storm seen anywhere in the world so far this year. Something experts are putting down to a warming climate, but a lot of people are talking about the remnants of the storm that next week could bring plenty rain and unsettled weather to Ireland, but it's too far away to say with certainty yet, according to the meteorologists here at Met Éireann. But the word is they have their eye on it. They're keeping a close eye on developments down there near Jamaica and stuff like that, and the what will happen with the remnants, the trajectory or the path that it takes afterwards. Will it be bad news? Will it spell trouble for us here in this part of the world? That's what a lot of the talk seems to be this Tuesday, as we say. It's too early to tell yet, but it could impact our weather and will impact our weather to a degree, but to how much of a degree remains to be seen. All right, before we finish up, a little bit of music from our pals, the Waterboys, and A Man Is In Love this Tuesday.
A man is in love. How do I know? He came and walked with me, and he told me so. In a song he sang, and then I knew a man is in love with you. A man is in love. How did I hear? I heard him talk too much. Whenever you're near, he whispered your name. When his eyes were closed, a man is in love, and he knows.
figured it out while he was watching you dress. He'd give you his all if you but agree. A man is in love and he's me.
Yes, indeed, the Waterboys and A Man Is In Love this Tuesday on The Daily Crack with me, Sean G. You've been listening to The Daily Crack, that little program we do each day around about this time, keeping you connected with Mother Ireland. Thanks for your company since 3 this afternoon. Thanks as always to Margaret having out in the background. Studio at gir.ie if you ever feel the need to get in touch with us. And remember, if you missed the show live, you can catch it anytime at thedailycrack.com or wherever you get your podcasts. That, my friends, is our lot for today. That's a wrap, as they say. Join us back here tomorrow. We hope to be back with you again, same time, same place. In the meantime, Mark's been working hard getting our quote for you today, and it comes from, you might know him, Mark Twain. He was fairly handy with a pencil. And what did Mark Twain say? Well, Mark Twain said a lot of things, but today, here's what he said. The 2 most important dates in your life. What are they? Think about that now for a minute. But don't take too much time. We're almost out of time. The 2 most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Now, how profound. Thank you, Margaret, and thanks to you for listening. The 2 most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. The meaning of life, in other words. Pretty straightforward. That's our lot, friends. Thank you so much, and we'll see you back here tomorrow around about 3 o'clock with more of the same. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll leave you with a brand new song from T.R. Dallas, You're Beautiful.
I haven't seen you for a while, but the feeling's still the same. It came back when you smiled. Whatever happened hasn't changed. My heart is in a tizzy, my head is in a spin, and this happens every time that I see you again. And you're beautiful, so beautiful, just beautiful. Nothing like I've ever seen before. You have me doing things I thought I'd never do at all. All because of you, because you're beautiful. I can't sleep a wink at night, lying on my double bed, turning on and off the lights, wondering what I should have said. I'm half afraid to tell you, but I know for sure it's true. I love you and I hope you love me too. And you're beautiful, so beautiful, just beautiful. Nothing like I've ever seen before. You have me doing things I thought I'd never do at all. All because of you, because you're beautiful. I see stars in broad daylight, I hear things I've never heard. When you're by my side, I'm in another world. I've been around but never found someone as sweet as you. And if love is all you need, then all I need is you. And you're beautiful, so beautiful, just beautiful. Nothing like I've ever seen before. You have me doing things I thought I'd never do at all. All because of you, because you're beautiful. And you're beautiful, so beautiful, just beautiful. Nothing like I've ever seen before. You have me doing things I thought I'd never do at all. All because of you, because you're beautiful.
Good deeds are great things, and a single good deed can grow into a forest of kindness. At treedeeds.com, you can dedicate a tree in someone's honour and make a lasting impact on the planet. Each tree is deeded and comes with a personalised certificate, perfect for birthdays, holidays, memorials, or just because. Celebrate life, give back to nature, and leave a legacy that grows. Visit treedeeds.com today. That's treedeeds.com. Rooted in Ireland, gifted worldwide.